Hello, welcome to the Green Door Podcast. I'm your host, Nacho Vegas. I'm here with Miss Lily Jade.
Hi, guys.
And we're here and live at the Green Door in Las Vegas. And if you guys aren't aware of what this place is, we're going to put some links down below in the description box. So please feel free to check it out. 18 and over, adults only, social environment. And Miss Lily, welcome.
Hi.
And you took a look at this place. And,
Oh, yeah.
And what did you think about it?
I loved it. I was also recommended to come check it out by a friend, too, so...
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, first question. You're in the adult industry.
Yeah.
And, swinger lifestyle, you ever heard about any of that before?
I've heard of it. I've never really participated in it.
Okay. What made you get into the adult industry?
I've just been a very sexual person and very outgoing in that nature, so I figured why not work and do something I love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. When it comes to, I'm going to try to relate this to what the Green Door is. When it comes to watching people have sex, does that turn you on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I filmed for some friends that were doing a collab together, and I loved every second of it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool. What, are you more into amateur style of content, or do you like professional, where with the script? And
I like it all. I don't really have a type, in general, when it comes to men or women, and that kind of translate into the porn I watch, so.
Okay. Yeah, I'm more, when it comes to on set, for me, when the camera's rolling, I don't know what it is, it's just I'm in the zone.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And before porn, when I was in this lifestyle, it was a little different. Well, in the beginning, it's the adrenaline.
Yeah.
Right, and then and you're just you're like at an ice cream store, and you have all the flavors there, and you get to taste test all of it, and that's kind of how I pursued it.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you start calming down, and then you kind of know what you're doing now, and then but translating into the porn side. It was like that too. Just I don't know what I was doing in the beginning. I was just excited, right? And then as long as there's a camera, it's pointing at the right direction, and then you learn all the other stuff as you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make it any less fun now that you know stuff. It if anything, it makes it more enjoyable.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you get to enjoy the things that you were too stressed out about before.
Or too anxious about, yeah. And you just get you know about it, so therefore you're confident about it, and it makes it so much easier on everybody and yourself.
Right. What's the best way for you to have an orgasm?
Penetration with a vibrator, preferably a magic wand is my best friend. But really, it also depends on the energy I'm also given from the partner I'm having sex with. Because, if you're not confident and you don't know what you're doing, then I'm not going to have an orgasm, even with Mr. Magic Wand,
Right.
So, it really depends on, the energy. I like confidence. I like people who know what they're doing, but I also like people who check in and want proactive consent and stuff. So, I would have to say caring about me really makes me orgasm.
Right. Are you an affectionate person?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. I feel like I haven't really gotten into a swinger club or anything because I'm more demisexual. And I feel kind of here, especially as a single woman, coming here, you're not necessarily expected to do anything, but there will be a lot of guys asking for it, and I feel without the connection beforehand outside of a sexy, environment, then would be 10 times better, and that's how I would be able to orgasm.
Right.
I wouldn't mind doing group sex with strangers if I knew one person in the group, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
When I know exactly what you're talking about, because in the content world, I prefer meeting the person first, because I think I might have mentioned it to you, like having coffee or something. Tea, and because you're right, like, because sometimes on my end too, like as a guy, sometimes I'm in my head, like, honestly, like, be honest with yourself. Like, I'm talking to myself. Like,
do they even like me?
Yeah. Is it going to be a good shoot? Like are we getting along?
Yeah.
All that stuff. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Like, and that was the whole purpose of me coming into the Green Door in the beginning when I was younger, and because going to the nightclub or the bars or whatever, and you have to engage with someone, and then like, do you think it's true, like, when someone approaches you, like, they pretty much have 10 seconds to, like, impress you, kind of thing? Not like...
Yeah, I would say that, because if you say, like, the wrong thing right off the bat, I'm not going to want to keep talking to you, you know? But if you, like, say something very confident, very sexy, very demure, then, like, that would make me interested in you and want to keep talking to you.
Yeah.
So I would definitely agree with that.
Right. And in the beginning, when I started going to the clubs, I'm more of a people watcher. I love watching people, and I just love seeing...
I feel like if the first time I would come into a club like this, I would definitely want to just watch and see, like, what, like the unspoken rules and boundaries are, of a swingers club before actually participating. Because I don't ever want to overstep boundaries or anything like that.
Right. When it comes to a community like this, it's you could tell who are the more experienced ones. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And then, like... And when you see them actually playing with another couple or the wife or something like that, because 9 times out of 10, that's usually what it is, where a single guy approaches a couple kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you can see the flow of it. It's like you almost think that they're hooking up for years, but it was just the one night, But it's just, like how you said, the unspoken kind of thing and the natural flow and chemistry. So... I think if everyone's on the same page and you could kind of see how the other person reacts to what you're doing. So say if someone, like, if I'm shooting with someone, like do you like to receive oral on set?
Oh, yes.
Has there been times where you wanted to tell the person, like, move over a little bit, or
always, yeah.
And you just kind of not say nothing.
Yeah, you can't really. That's basically cutting, like that kind of ruins it. Not like ruins it, but then like it's hard to edit stuff together. It's hard to make like a really good scene when you're like cutting, and then I don't know. Maybe there's a porn that would like it if a girl did that, but most of the time they just want the girl to sit back, moan, enjoy it, like that's our job basically.
Yeah. So that's what I carry over to the unset side. It was where I do my very best, and I've seen a lot of guys in this industry that they just know what they're doing, but not out of the confidence on their part. It's because they know they can feel your energy to the actions, right? And they know how you're responding. Like if someone's like kind of stiff a little bit, or by me moving one way, then obviously I'm gonna go the other way.
Yeah.
But some people, like in this lifestyle, some people they just care about themselves mostly, and that shows too.
Yeah.
Same thing with the filming. There's just a lot of similarities between the two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it's very interesting. I just like it all together.
Yeah.
What's the one thing? Do you have a bucket list of things that you wanna do?
Gangbang for sure. Also participate in a reverse gangbang.
Okay.
I think that would be really fun. Haven't done DP yet. There's a lot of fetish stuff I want to do.
What's one fetish thing that you like? That's something that's not an everyday thing.
That I like? I'm big into medical fetish.
Fetish.
I like the chair you had downstairs. I did a shoot in Florida for a guy who goes by Dr. Tampa, and he does, like, he has, like, 2 rooms in his house that he's renovated to look exactly like a doctor's office. Like, it smells like a doctor's office, it's cold in there like a doctor's office, all that. And my favorite thing that has been, like, very kind of taboo, kind of fetish, would be sounding, which is, I don't know if you know what that is. It's where they put a metal rod up your urethra.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, why I liked it so much is because I thought it was going to hurt, but it didn't at all. Like, I like stuff that surprises me, that it's like, at first, and then, like, once you do it, it's like, oh, hell yeah, I'd do this again, you know? But, yeah, that's what I'm into.
Yeah, the sounding one is, like, where so the metal thing, and then they tap the end of the...
No.
Okay,
no.
I see that.
They just stick it up there. Like, he would, like, kind of, like, move it back and forth in my urethra. And all it feels like is a bunch of pressure. Where, like, people say it, like, they think it might hurt is because, like, when you go to the hospital and you get, like, a catheter in you or whatever, it's left inside of you for days and days and days. Oh. So when the doctor takes it out of you, yeah, it kind of hurts because it's... You're kind of growing into it, basically. Yeah. But when it's only in there for, like, 3 minutes, it's nothing. It's just pressure.
Yeah. No, I saw this one porn a long time ago where, you know, the tone thing, like, for that musicians use, and I seen where they stick the end of it.
Oh no, I would
not. And then they do the tone. Yeah.
No, if they tap the end of it, that would not be fun.
Right. How did you get into the medical thing?
I stumbled upon the porn, like, before I even got into sex work or anything, and I really enjoyed it. And then Dr. Tampa hit me up on Sexy Jobs, and he was like, hey, $2,000, come down to Florida, you know, let me play with you. And I was like, hell yeah. So I went down to Florida, and I found out that I really enjoyed it. Like, not just watching the porn, but, like, participating in the porn.
Right. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just posted a thing today. Like, I'm really into armpits for some reason. I don't know if you saw that. But
no, I didn't.
No? Okay, good.
I'm not on Twitter much, like, scrolling or anything.
Yeah.
I end up arguing with people.
Oh, yeah. Because I wanted to see what I liked. And then, like, when I was coming into the club, I never did that fetish, like, in a club with regular people. I was a performer, and she's the best, and super nice, and friendly and stuff, and she is like, hey, I'm gonna just grow out my armpit hair for a while because I'm gonna take a break from shooting professional content. But, you know, no one cares if I shoot like, if they don't want to shoot with me with hairy armpits as a content collab, then I don't want to shoot with them. So I'm like, well, I'll shoot. I don't care, you know. And then when she sold it, I surprised her, and I, like, was going missionary. And then, like, I literally started at the bottom of the pit and then just licked all the way up. And she, like, started laughing, but at the same time she squirted.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So I think that was, like, the switch for me. Like, I kind of like this. Because, like, I like making a person laugh.
I just feel like it definitely takes another person to, like, figure out if you're really into that fetish. So, like, I cam a lot, and I have customers who, like, buy private video chats with me and stuff. And I had a guy who thought he was into smoking, and then he wasn't. Whenever it was, like, me and him one-on-one, you know, he was just like, oh, never mind, it's not my thing. And I know it wasn't post-nut clarity, because he hadn't came yet. Like, I put out the cigarette, and then I did my thing with my Mr. Magic Wand, as I call him, and he got off, and he was like, afterwards, I always like to talk to my customers, and I'm like, what did you like, what did you not like, you know, what can I do better, because I want to be the best sex worker I can be. And he was just like, yeah, I don't know, I thought I was really into it, because I see other guys, like, reposting stuff on Twitter that's really hot, but I just could not get off to it. Yeah. And I was like, that's why I think, like, it takes another person to realize what you're into because you never really know. Like,
right.
I feel like all that's kind of locked deep away since it's more taboo stuff, like armpits and smoking and that kind of stuff.
Right. I think that happened to me with squirting. And
I've only squirted twice, and honestly, I feel like if a girl squirted on me, I would not be very happy.
Right.
So I can understand that.
Yeah, because like when I was watching videos and stuff, or sometimes like I'd watch people here, and I'm like, man, that looks pretty hot.
Yeah,
right?
it looks hot on camera.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, I like that. And then one time, I'll tell you a little story here, and it was like Mr. Olympia, the week, and the show ended, and then like a bunch of bodybuilders like came in here, and then there was a bodybuilding couple that came in here, and they were just kind of like walking around, and they did not look like they were like into it, and then but they're bodybuilders, so it's very hard to see a bodybuilder that's been training for the past like whatever months be very relaxed.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, okay. And then they went out to have a drink outside. They came back, and then they were just like, hey, and they just pointed me out of nowhere. They're like, hey, you want to pee on my wife? And I'm like, oh.
Does she want to be peed on?
Yeah. But she looked at me like, yeah, like, yeah, are you gonna join us? And I'm like, okay, you know. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, so we used to have a golden shower room, and so we did that, and then we just started playing. But then he started like just peeing in her while he was
like in her mouth, or
while he was like banging her, and I was just like kind of there, and she was like kind of like,
that's not good for you, is it?
I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's all protein.
Oh my god.
Protein shakes and whatever else that they were consuming, testosterone.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm just like, okay, you know. And then like from now at that point, I'm just kind of going with it because I do like muscular women too. And she was like, hey, let's go to a bed. Let's go find a bed. You know, I'm like, okay. I said, you want to rinse off?
Yeah, did she?
No. And then, so I'm like, okay, I'm really gonna try to like avoid this, and or avoid like her
face.
And so she.
Did she try to kiss you?
She tried.
Oh.
And then I like dodged it, and then she like licked me right here.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I'm just like, and I'm like, I don't know what to do, but.
You're a trooper.
Yeah. And then like but then she squirted on me. She like literally stood up after like he was behind her, and then like just went whoosh, all over me. And then I went. That was the one thing. Not the urine, not the licking my face. That was the thing that didn't like. I lost my boner.
I would have too if I had that.
Yeah. And so there's been occasion on professional sets where the girl squirted. I'd say like 20% of the time, and I had to like train myself to like it, kind of thing. Or it is hot. I do still think squirting is hot.
Well, and, I feel like there's also a difference between forced squirting and natural squirting.
Yes.
Because like I have only squirted twice, and that was for one shoot. That was for my first shoot ever. That was the first time I learned that I really like a magic wand and penetration. And like I smelled it because I've always heard, you know, guys being like, it smells like pee and stuff. My squirt smelled like nothing. I did a boy, girl, girl where the other girl squirted, and the whole room smelled like pee after that. And the director asked her, she was like, did you just pee?
Oh no.
Because like, yeah, you look on the camera too, you can see the yellow, and it's like, oh, I don't know. I would never force myself to squirt unless it was like maybe like a guy's fetish or something, and I was getting paid for it.
Right.
That's the biggest thing, because I'm not into like piss play, golden showers at all. Like, I'll pee on you. It's gonna take a while for me to, you know, pee on you because I have shy bladder, but I'm not a huge fan of piss play.
Yeah.
I take public peeing videos. Like, I'll go to the casino, have some drinks, you know, maybe play some blackjack, and then I forget to use the restroom, get to my car and have to pee. I'll just go pee right next to my car, take a video of it. Guys like that. And like that's the most. I like pleasing my customers and my men that I have in my life, so I'll do whatever you want. Unless you're peeing on me.
One golden rule.
One golden rule, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no pee, especially the golden.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny, too, because when I was a kid, I thought, like, sex was, like, a guy peeing in a girl. That's what that's, like, when I was, like, a kid, you know? I thought that's what sex was. And now I'm like, wow. Oh, God, if a guy did that to me, I would freak out. I'd probably punch him, honestly.
Right. When I was watching, like, porn when I was younger, like, it was all the old porn, like, just Bush and all that stuff. So, and I remember, like, later on, like, my later college years and stuff, and where she took it off, and there was no Bush anywhere. And I'm just like, and it shocked me. I was like,
how you do that?
Yeah. What happened? Is your vagina going
magic?
Right. And they're like, I shaved it. Like, what? You could do that? No. Like then I looked at mine. I was like, I could shave this? Yeah. Yeah, I was not there. I was not there yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we all went through that phase.
Yeah. I think, well, the thing was, like, we had, I'm showing my age right here, but we had a cheater box, and we had 2 adult channels on there, which one was Playboy, and then the other one was Spice. And I remember my earliest memory of porn, I remember it was like this lady, she was parachuting, and then she gets stuck in the trees on the parachute, so she's like dangling. Yeah. And then like, but somehow, some way, like, he was trying to like help her down, and then like he was like walking, and the pants like ripped off. They like happened to be very delicate tearaway pants, and all I saw was Bush.
We don't get porn like that nowadays.
Right. And then, but the Playboy channel, they didn't show like, it wasn't like triple X at the time. They didn't show penetration. They just see frontal, and then they see the act, but not really. And then, so when he was like eating her out, basically the scene was like he ate her out and he just walked away. I just kind of after dingling. And then like, well, thanks, but I'm still hanging here, but I didn't know how it worked. I thought that you just literally lick the bush,
My first introduction to porn was, I guess, 8 years old. Oh, I used to go to Germany every summer because my Oma and Opa live over there. They have a house and stuff. And I remember just turning on the TV in my room upstairs, and it's like 10 blonde women, and it's like all of them besides one are in like shower capsule type things. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to explain it, but they're like, they have thongs on, and that's it. And they're like very blonde, very, blown out hair. And the one girl that's not in the shower, she has like a headset on, and she's like an announcer or something. And I think it was something to do with a game show, like where guys could send in tips, and like whoever like tips would like make water or whatever, or like soap or whatever come down on them. And like I remember going downstairs and being like, oh, come look at my TV. And she comes up on the TV, and she's like, she starts explaining it. I can't remember what she said exactly because I was like 8 years old. And she's like, oh yeah, this is just the game show they do every Friday. And I was like, oh my God. And she's like, it's normal. And then we went swimming at like this lake like a month after that. And my Oma's like, here, get changed. She hands me my bathing suit. We're in the parking lot. And I'm like, I guess we're going to go to the bathroom or something to get changed. And then like 5 minutes later, she comes around the car and she's like, why are you not changed? I'm like, here? She's like, yeah, look, everybody else is doing it. And so I put on the bottoms and she can give me a top. And she's like, it's okay. And we go out to the lake. She was wearing her regular clothes. She wasn't going swimming. But like everybody there, all the women there did not have tops on. And like that's just a normal thing in Germany.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah, when I first landed there, at the airport, they had a sex shop. Inside the airport.
Yeah.
And then we went. I went to, before the hotel or wherever I was going. I remember going to like their version of a 7-Eleven, and then like their magazine counter was like all nudity, and I'm like, I was like, this is crazy. Like, this is fun. Like why are we so behind on all this? You know.
I think their legal drinking age is like 14 or something.
I believe you're right.
Yeah.
Because I was working with some of the guys there, and they were on their breaks. They were drinking beer, and then like, and I wasn't allowed to, but like I was drinking Gatorade or whatever. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, and I'm not talking about like a beer can. It's like 40 ounce.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, Jesus, these Germans could really German it up.
Oh yeah, the first taste of beer I had was in Germany.
Oh, right?
My Mama, we were sitting at a family gathering, and my Mama's like, "Try this."
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I feel like beer is definitely an acquired taste, especially German beer. Like it has a very unique taste to it, like kind of bitterness.
Yes. Well, there's different types. I like German beers. They're simple. They have the wheat beer, which is probably the most sweetest or fulfilling one, and then you have the light, and then
all my family drank dark beer.
The dark?
Yeah, it was dark beer, or you're drinking piss water.
Yeah.
That's what they would say.
Yeah, and the dark beer. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I like it, but it tastes good with different things. Like I like wine and beer, but like I like it all really, but except for vodka. But the wines, like I noticed that like it tastes different with different foods. So so dark wine, I'll drink it with red meats or all that. So you get to learn
I'm trying to learn all that. Like I didn't really drink until I was 21, unless like I drank with my family. Like we would drink even. My parents had this rule. It was my parents also know I'm in porn. They will probably see this. But my parents had a rule to do dangerous things safely. That was their whole thing. Or another thing they would say is, you gotta fuck around to find out. Instead of fuck around to find out, you gotta fuck around to find out. And so during holidays, they would, if everybody else is drinking, why can't the kids drink? We're mature enough, we're being watched, we're not drinking and then going and driving our go-karts or our four-wheelers. We're drinking, having fun with our family, and they wouldn't get us shit-faced drunk either. Like, it's like you get like a coffee cup of beer, that's what we got. So like I feel like that helped me when I did turn 21. It helps me like not get crazy drunk all the time. There's definitely some places I will get turned, but most of the time, like I'm good with my 2 drinks, and then I go about the party, have fun and stuff. And I've noticed with like other people, especially where I come from, like they need alcohol to socialize, and they need alcohol to do anything. And being introduced to alcohol kind of at an early age, but also supervised, it's helped me be able to be a person with alcohol instead of letting alcohol change my entire personality. Yeah. I think it's important to experience that, like, kind of like right away. Because like say going to relationships, like how many relationships have you seen where a couple gets married young, and then they divorce, and then they go crazy because they missed out on all the fun that you're having, Yeah, my dad always told me I wasn't allowed to date till I was 28.
Oh, wow.
That was his thing. Not allowed to date till I'm 28, can't get married till I'm 33.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a good rule. I mean, just...
I don't follow that. It's kind of like a satire rule, kind of,
Oh, it is, yeah.
But, like, my mom was divorced, and then when she was 35, she met my dad, and she always said, like, I wish I never had gotten married. Like, I wish I had just lived my life, and everything, and because, like, she's very well off now, but she would have been even more well off, had more experiences, like, she's not the normal housewife. She has a personality of her own. She's actually the breadwinner of the family.
Yes.
So I've learned a lot from her with how I conduct myself and everything.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents divorced young, but they got remarried and stuff, but, like, yeah, it was just, for me, it was the, like, kind of like the fear of divorce and, like, knowing when you're ready kind of thing and not forcing anything. So that's...
I don't think I'd ever get married on paper. I would get married, like, in a ceremony of, like, showing my loyalty and love to somebody, but never under the government's eye. Oh, yeah. That's my thing, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I just had this conversation with someone because, like, I've never been married or I have any kids, but, like, I just don't see the value in it, I guess.
Especially in this day and age?
Yeah. But it's nice to, like, know that someone's there for you. Or, you're there for that person kind of thing. Yeah. So I do see the unspoken value or the...
Yeah, the value of, like, being legally married, but I don't think the government should need to say, like, I am loyal to somebody, or, like, that person is mine, I am theirs, I feel like that is an agreement that two people come together. Why does the government need to be involved?
Yeah.
This is kind of hot takes. You might get some comments, like,
Do you, let me ask you this. So, say you find someone. Do you believe in having multiple someones, or do you believe...
I am polyamorous. Okay. I am non-hierarchical polyamorous, which is kind of like a solo polyamory. Polyamorous, which is like solo polyamorous. They don't have a primary partner. They date whoever they want, when they want, and they still love multiple people. Non-hierarchical for me is... no relationship in my life has more power over anybody else. Yeah. So, like, even my parents, they don't have power over my friends. Like, nobody can veto or has any control over my life to affect anybody else.
Right.
So, like, I can date, I can date multiple guys, and if one guy doesn't like another guy, that's their problem. That's not mine, you know? Like, I can help, communicate and get, like, point across and stuff, but I'm not going to stop dating one or the other unless you show me, like, toxic behaviors.
Right.
Then we're cool, your guys' problems are between you, and if it has to do with the problem because you guys are dating me, then I will remove myself from the entire situation.
Right.
So, like, that's my biggest thing is I was monogamous up until January of this year.
Okay.
And none of my monogamous relationships have ever worked out because of expectations I put on them and expectations I get put on. I feel like in monogamous relationships, I was kind of expected to be the source of somebody's happiness and their, like, mental escape. Yeah. And I have my own problems. I need to worry about my own happiness, So, therefore, I feel a lot more comfortable being polyamorous than I do monogamous. And saying that I'm polyamorous, I had 2 partners in the beginning of this year. Like, now I'm single. So me being polyamory doesn't mean, like, I'm just fucking whoever I want. That's not the case at all. It's, I have the ability to love and care for multiple people, and I don't let anything stop me from that.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's very insightful. See, a lot of the old school, like say swingers, a lot of that stuff never existed. They would just say, open relationship.
Yeah.
Then there'll be
and that's a type of ethical non-monogamy too.
Right.
There's nowadays, like, we have so much more like different, like, kind of subcultures, subgenres of polyamory.
Right.
Because I don't know if you know this, but the word polyamory got coined in the 90s. It's very recent. Like, It's a very recent word. It's the history of polyamory goes back thousands of years, but the word polyamorous got coined in the 90s here in America, here in the West. So it's like, it's something new that we're all learning. Like, open relationships is a type of ethical non-monogamy. You can be just ethical, like E&M, non-monogamous. Which is, like, kind of like queer, with LBGT, like, it's kind of an umbrella term. There's polycules, that are, like, I think it's 3 or more partners that are dating each other. Like, they're all dating each other.
Yes.
There's non-hierarchical polyamorous, which is what I am, what I just explained. There's so many different types of polyamory. And that's what I love, too, is, like, you don't necessarily have to have a label in this community.
Yeah. No, yeah, I've met a couple here, a regular couple, or 2 regular couples that are not in film or anything like that. But they're married to each other, but they live together. They're in a relationship with each other.
Yeah.
So, like, it's pretty cool. And I've met them like around Christmas time, last Christmas.
That sounds like kitchen table polyamory. Which is where, I'm assuming, are the husbands dating each other?
No.
So that's kitchen table polyamory, which is where it's kind of like swingers, but they actually, like, care and love about each other. Right. I'm not saying swingers don't care and love about the partners that they fuck, but, like, they're in a committed relationship, and everybody gets along, they probably communicate very well, and that's what kitchen table polyamory is. Is not necessarily everybody is dating each other, but they might all live together and they all get along and everybody's friends with each other at least.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Yeah. And who knows, I mean, and when I first started coming here, there was a lot of younger people that were afraid to come in here.
Oh yeah. Well, also the thing is like, we hear, like, with clubs like this, that it's all older people, too. I like older men, personally, so that doesn't really bother me.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like that's probably why not a whole lot of the younger generation comes in here, is because we're worried, like, it's just going to be a whole bunch of old people, which I don't think that's the case, especially for here.
That's the stereotype, and but not the case at all, because I meet a lot of first-timers that come in here, a lot, and they come in here, and I'll ask, like, what was the reason that you wanted to come here?
Yeah.
How did you find out about this place, and this and that, and now as the years go on, it's what they've learned about polyamory, what they learn about other things. It's where, like, you take that word swinger or take the word polyamorous, but then you're breaking it down into the branches, and then now people are kind of more acceptant of this lifestyle. Not just a club like this, but, like, the lifestyle in general. There are a lot of people that don't believe in it.
Well, in Western culture, we also have an issue with compulsive monogamy.
Yeah.
You know, which is, like, everybody in America is raised that we are going to find the one, we're going to get married, we're going to have children, and that's also very, I feel like, put on to both men and women in different ways, like, you have to find the perfect woman, you have to, if she doesn't look like this or doesn't act like this, then if we don't like her, and it mainly comes from family and just, like, repetitiveness and society in general, is like, where we've all been told that the American dream is a certain way. And what I like is that the America was built on becoming a mixing pot. Like, that was our goal when colonizers came over here, was to create somewhere where everybody could come together, everybody could enjoy. And that's what I feel like is definitely happening nowadays. Like, I don't think it was happening very much back then, but nowadays I definitely feel like we're getting an influx of immigrants and just people that are changing views and stuff. Like, I learned a lot about polyamory from a Canadian couple they call it, their Instagram is Decolonizing Love. And this is where I've learned all this stuff, is like they break down why monogamy, compulsive monogamy specifically, not monogamy in general, but compulsive monogamy can be toxic, because it's why we have cheating culture nowadays, you know? It's like why we have the side piece culture and all that, because we're all told that you're supposed to only love one person.
Right.
But in reality, a lot of us want to and have the ability to love and have sex with multiple people. And you can be monogamous and have sex with multiple people, but if you're in a monogamous relationship and you're having sex with other people, that's considered cheating, you know? Right. Polyamory, on the other hand, you can be in a committed relationship and have sex with other people if you communicate that kind of stuff.
Of course.
In a monogamous relationship, if you were to communicate, hey, I want to have sex with other people, relationship over. Right. You communicate in a polyamorous relationship, hey, I want to have sex with other people I find blah, blah, blah attractive, you know? They're going to be like, great, let's find a time for you to do that, you know? Yeah. Like, that's... the monogamy keeps us, like, kind of boxed in, and polyamory is outside of that box, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah. How I feel, because I grew up in a religious kind of environment.
I'm a confirmed Catholic, so...
Okay, yeah. And, I went to a Catholic school all the years, except for, like, 2 years. And, you know, I believe in... I believe that there should be a divine power, and people should believe that's so people don't just believe that they could just murder each other and do all that stuff, right? The morals, you know. And so it's very important to, like, being raised and knowing what's right or wrong when it comes to that.
Yeah, and changing your viewpoint, because with Catholicism, if I was to dress like this, if I was to walk into Mass dressed like this, they would kick me out. They would be like, hell no. Yeah. And I had to learn, like, so I actually got banished from the church, from a Catholic church, because I invited my transgender boyfriend, female to male, to youth group.
Wow.
And they kicked me and my entire family out of the church. And then after they did that, my mom was like, this is not okay. Let's try a Christian church. And so we went to a Christian church, and they accepted all of us. You know, they were like, do whatever you want, as long as you are following commandments, you know. And that's and then after my mom realized, like, okay, spirituality isn't supposed to be like this locked down, you know, like, you're not supposed to be ashamed of what you believe in and what you think and what you do. Then my family kind of got out of spirituality altogether. And it was more of do what you want to do as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. Right.
Yeah, that's how I am. Like, I'm more of a humanist. And so, like, I believe in free will. I believe in people, if they, you know the difference between right and wrong when it comes to, like, violence and bullying and all that stuff. Like people could be open more and be more and just accepting and listen more to other people rather than trying to, like, tell people what.
Everybody's a human. Everybody deserves respect. You know. Yeah. You don't judge book by its cover. That's really all it should. That's all it really is at the end of the day.
Right. Exactly, and that's why we need porn. It's like we need people to, like, open their eyes a little bit more. You know, and there's an age, of course, that people have that need to mature enough. I mean, you could be 30 and be as immature as hell. Yeah. You know, but, like, there's a barrier that everyone will have to cross, like a crossroads, and any point of their time or point of their life where you're gonna have to ask yourself, like, well, who am I, or, like, what do I represent, or like, why am I here? Like those kind of questions that you got to ask yourself, and then you got to know just a purpose, just have a purpose and go with it. If it doesn't work out, then it's okay. Yep. You know? So, like, no one's gonna punish you for that.
Exactly.
So, well, we've been talking so fast, so much, and I'm like, we're barely like scratching the surface with each other. But we definitely got to have a part 2.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
I'd love to come back.
Yes, and but before we sign off, like, do you want to tell the fans like what you got going on, or how to follow you, or anything like that?
I'm mainly just on Twitter. I don't do a whole lot of content creation, so you can find me on Twitter at Lily Jade 420. I post a lot of BTS from shoots I do there, and just like everyday life. I think that's all. I mean, you can find me on Jerkmate under Lily Jade 42 too, where you can find me live.
Mm-hmm. Very cute.
Yeah.
Well, then, also we're gonna put her link below in the description box, and we're definitely gonna have her back here, and dive into more about different stuff. So if you have any ideas of what we should talk about next, please put in the description box, and we could tackle those things. So, thank you again.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for checking us out, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for watching the Green Door Podcast. For more content, click the links below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and to follow our guest social media accounts.